Welcome to the Daily Stoic Dose. Before starting this video, make sure please subscribe, like and share this video to reach out most authentic Stoic content. Need your support, thanks. The silent language of real love. Let's be honest, brother, most men fall for illusions. They hear "I miss you" and think it's love. They see good morning texts and assume she's emotionally invested. But words are just smoke. Real love doesn't speak first, it acts. A woman's actions are her emotional fingerprints, silent, consistent, and impossible to fake, and when she's truly in love, her behavior shifts in ways most men never notice. So today, we're diving into the 5 things women do only when their heart belongs completely to you. Not when she's curious, not when she's impressed, but when she's emotionally anchored, when you've become part of her peace, her rhythm, and her world. Let's begin. 1. She nurtures you without needing a reason. When a woman truly loves you, she becomes attuned to your energy in ways that go beyond logic. She notices the small details you dismiss, the tired blink in your eyes after a long day, the silence that hides behind your words, the way your shoulders slump when something's heavy on your mind. You don't have to ask her to care, she just does. She'll bring you food before you realize you're hungry. She'll text you to rest when you're overworking. She'll check if you're okay without any agenda, because your well-being has become tied to hers. This isn't about gender roles or romantic cliches, it's about emotional investment. A woman in love doesn't perform care, her nurturing isn't a duty, it's an instinct. When she loves you deeply, your pain unsettles her spirit, your peace calms hers. She might not say much, but she shows it in small, sacred gestures. The way she adjusts your collar before you leave, the way she keeps your world organized when chaos hits. The way she remembers the little things you forget, your favorite drink, your old dream, your quiet fears. But here's the truth most men overlook, that side of her, the nurturing, feminine, protective energy, doesn't surface for just anyone. She won't cook for a man she doesn't feel safe with, she won't pray for a man she doesn't respect, and she won't invest her softness in someone who treats it like a convenience. When she loves you, her care is sacred, it's not a favor, it's her way of saying, "Your peace matters to me." Real love doesn't make noise, it just keeps showing up, quietly, selflessly, and without asking for applause. So next time she does something small, something thoughtful, unspoken, remember, that's her heart speaking, and it speaks a language only the emotionally aware can hear. 2. She guards your name in your absence. Every man wants to know how loyal his woman really is, but loyalty isn't proven when you're around, it's revealed when you're not. When a woman truly loves you, she doesn't just defend you, she represents you, in conversations you'll never hear, in rooms you'll never enter. She becomes your silent protector. When people speak about you, she listens carefully, and if anyone tries to tarnish your name, she doesn't laugh, she doesn't stay quiet, she shuts it down, because her love doesn't allow her to sit back while your image is disrespected. That's the kind of woman who sees you as part of her identity. She won't let others diminish your name, because to her, protecting you is protecting herself. Understand this, loyalty isn't about liking every part of you, it's about standing firm even when others misunderstand you. When a woman truly loves, she doesn't gossip about your flaws or mock your struggles, she guards your dignity even in moments of frustration. And if she defends your reputation in rooms where you're not present, you've already earned a place in her heart that no other man can touch. Ask yourself this, when you're not in the room, does she keep your name clean, or does she stay silent and let others define your story? Because if she doesn't protect you in absence, she doesn't deserve your presence. A woman who loves you for real becomes your invisible armor. She's not loud about it, she's just loyal, and loyalty is love in its most disciplined form. 3. She grows emotionally loyal before the label. You know what most men get wrong? They think loyalty begins when the relationship becomes official. But real love doesn't wait for a title, it starts the moment her heart chooses peace over options. When a woman is emotionally attached to you, even before commitment, you'll notice something subtle. She starts closing doors, the random texts stop, the flirtatious banter fades. She no longer needs to prove her desirability because she's already found her emotional home. She'll naturally avoid situations that could cause you insecurity, not because you told her to, but because she respects the bond. And this is key, you'll never have to ask her to stop seeking attention, she'll do it herself. Her energy shifts Her social media presence softens, her posts become calmer, more authentic, less about validation, more about peace, because deep down, she's already chosen you, not as a boyfriend, but as her emotional sanctuary. That's when you know her love is real. It's not for show, it's for soul, and brother, when a woman guards your connection like it's sacred, she's not being dramatic, she's being devoted. Love doesn't announce itself, it protects, quietly, fiercely, and with consistency. Part 1 continues with reflection, emotional pacing, and psychological layering. Before we move into the next part, remember this: when a woman truly loves you, you'll feel it in her consistency, not her compliments. If this resonated with you, don't just scroll away. If this resonated with you, don't just scroll away. Subscribe to the Daily Stoic Dose to Love for more real, unfiltered insight into the psychology of connection, presence, and masculine peace. Drop the word loyal in the comments if you believe real love isn't loud, it's loyal. Part 2, when her soul starts aligning with yours. Now let's continue our journey into the quiet, often invisible behaviors that only appear when a woman's heart is completely yours. We've already uncovered how she nurtures without reason, how she defends your name without witnesses, and how her loyalty blooms before commitment. But there's something deeper, something rarer. It's what happens when her world starts synchronizing with yours. When she no longer loves you as a separate story, but as a shared rhythm. 4. She blends into your world without losing her own. Most men believe love means merging, but in truth, healthy love doesn't dissolve individuality, it aligns purpose. When a woman truly loves you, she doesn't try to control your path, she studies it. She learns the flow of your energy, your routines, your silence, your ambitions, your quiet obsessions. She doesn't demand attention when you're building your vision. She respects your focus, because she sees herself as a companion in purpose, not a distraction from it. She's not intimidated by your drive, she's inspired by it. If you're working late, she doesn't guilt-trip you with loneliness, she sends a message that says, "I'm proud of you. Keep going." That's love matured, love with emotional discipline, because the truth is, a woman in love doesn't compete with your goals, she contributes to them. Even if that means standing in silence beside your storm. She'll bring calm when your world feels chaotic, she'll bring grounding when your focus starts to slip, and she'll remind you of who you are when your own mind starts to forget. That doesn't mean she disappears into your shadow. A woman who truly loves you still protects her own world, she continues nurturing her passions, her friends, her individuality, because she understands something most people don't: if she loses herself, the relationship loses its fire. The right woman doesn't orbit your life, she walks beside it, her presence harmonizes with your path without erasing her own melody. She doesn't need to be your world, she chooses to move within it. Gracefully, purposefully, and with presence. When you see a woman adjusting her rhythm to fit yours without resentment, understand this: that's emotional intelligence wrapped in love. It's not submission. It's synchronization, the kind of synchronization that feels effortless, where your goals inspire her growth, and her peace strengthens your focus. It's what happens when two mature souls choose partnership over possession. So, if she supports your purpose without losing hers, if she's learning your world while still nurturing her own, that's love in its purest, strongest form, because she doesn't need to dominate your space, she only needs to understand it, so she can walk beside you, not behind you. And that, brother, is one of the rarest energies you'll ever experience. 5. She sees your darkness and doesn't run. Most men hide their pain, not because they're dishonest, but because the world has trained them to. We live in a culture where masculinity is often mistaken for emotional silence, so, when a man finally lets his guard down, it's not weakness, it's a sacred moment of trust. And this is where a woman's true love is tested, because the truth is, anyone can love your confidence, anyone can admire your strength, your ambition, your masculine composure, but very few can sit beside your pain without trying to fix it, fear it, or use it. When a woman truly loves you, she doesn't flinch at your vulnerability, she doesn't treat your confessions like burdens. She listens, deeply, and in her silence, you feel understood. She becomes a mirror for your soul, not a critic for your flaws. She sees the days when your eyes are heavy with unspoken fatigue, when your voice carries hidden battles, when you withdraw not out of anger, but exhaustion, and instead of demanding emotional performance, she offers emotional presence. She doesn't try to cheer you up immediately, because she knows some storms aren't meant to be fixed, just sat through. She gives you space when you need it, and closeness when your silence starts to hurt. Her intuition becomes your shelter. That's the woman who doesn't just want the idea of you, she wants your humanity. Your imperfection, your depth, and brother, if you find a woman like that, one who sees your darkness, listens without judgment, and still chooses to stay, you've found something priceless, because in her eyes, your cracks don't make you weaker, they make you real, and when she sees you at your lowest and still looks at you with respect, that's when love turns spiritual. That's when she's not just part of your story, she's part of your healing. Let's pause for a moment here, because I want you to understand something every emotionally grounded man needs to know. The moment you let someone see your vulnerability, you hand them the power to destroy you, or heal you. So when a woman holds that power and chooses gentleness, that's divine energy, and it's not found in flattery, or social media captions, or long texts, it's found in the stillness of her presence when your world goes silent. She doesn't say, "You'll be fine." She says, "You don't have to face this alone." That's the difference between a woman who loves the idea of you, and one who truly understands you, because love that can't survive your darkness doesn't deserve your light. When she loves you through the storm, she becomes your calm, not by fixing your world, but by walking through it with grace. She doesn't need to take control, she just stays, steady, patient, peaceful. When she loves you, she becomes an emotional anchor, not the kind that holds you down, but the kind that keeps you from drifting away from yourself, and in that moment, her loyalty goes beyond physical or romantic, it becomes spiritual. She's not loving your surface, she's connected to your soul. That's why men who experience real feminine loyalty never forget it, because once you've been loved like that, silently, consistently, without conditions, every shallow connection afterward feels empty. Before we move into part 3, remember this: a woman's love is not measured by how often she says it, but by how deeply she stands in your silence. When you find someone who sees your chaos, your quiet pain, and your broken pieces, and still looks at you with the same warmth, don't take that for granted. That's not chemistry, that's emotional loyalty. If this part resonated with you, brother, if you've seen even a glimpse of this kind of love, hit the like button, share this message with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for the final part of this series. Because next, we'll uncover the most powerful truth of all: how she chooses you daily, even when love becomes ordinary. Drop the word strength in the comments if you believe love isn't proven in words, it's proven in storms. Part 3, when love becomes consistency. We've walked through how she nurtures without reason, how she guards your name when you're gone, how her loyalty blooms before commitment, how she blends into your purpose without disappearing, and how she faces your darkness with calm. But there's one final truth, the one that separates temporary affection from timeless devotion. It's not fireworks, it's repetition. 5. She chooses you every day, even when it's not easy. Real love isn't a single moment of passion, it's the 1,000 small moments that follow. When a woman truly loves you, she doesn't wake up every day in a storm of butterflies. Some mornings, she's tired, some nights, she's distant, but through it all, she chooses you. She chooses you when you're not charming, she chooses you when you've failed, she chooses you when life feels heavy, and there's nothing glamorous left to hold on to, because real love isn't fueled by constant excitement, it's sustained by quiet loyalty. When she loves you, her actions repeat, she still checks on you, she still listens, still supports, still defends, still believes, not because it's easy, but because her heart has made a decision. That's what most men don't understand, they chase emotional highs, not realizing that love isn't about feeling different every day, it's about showing up the same way, even when everything feels the same. Consistency, that's the most powerful form of affection there is. A woman who keeps showing up even after the excitement fades, that's not habit, that's devotion. The ordinary becomes sacred. When you're with the right woman, even the quiet routines begin to feel divine. The coffee she makes before you wake, the drive-safe text that shows up every morning, the subtle hand squeeze when she senses you're anxious, these aren't random gestures, they're her way of saying, "I'm still here." She doesn't need grand moments to prove her love. She proves it in repetition, in the same gentle tone, the same patience, The same small acts that hold everything together, that's the kind of love that doesn't trend on social media, but it builds empires of peace inside a man. When she chooses you daily, she's not saying, "You're perfect." She's saying, "You're worth the effort." And that difference is everything. The test of time. Time exposes everything, who's real, who's temporary, who's built for the long run. When years pass and the world changes, the woman who truly loves you evolves with you. She doesn't cling to the version of you she met. She grows with your growth, adjusts to your silence, adapts to your seasons. She understands that men don't love the same way women do. She knows your affection might be quieter, your words fewer, your expression restrained, and she doesn't punish you for it. She studies your love language and meets you there. That's emotional maturity, and it's rare. When life gets harder, she doesn't threaten to leave. She reminds you that she's staying. When misunderstandings happen, she doesn't weaponize distance. She talks, calmly, because she values the connection more than her ego. That's the kind of love that survives the storms others collapse under, because while most relationships fade with time, the real ones grow deeper, not louder, just deeper. The quiet moments that define everything. You'll know she loves you by the way she stays when no one's watching, when you're sitting together in silence and it's not awkward. That's love. When you share space without needing to fill it with noise. That's love. When she supports your solitude instead of fearing it. That's love. She's not afraid of your silence because she trusts your presence. She knows peace with you is better than excitement with anyone else. She chooses calm over chaos, understanding over argument, and growth over drama. That's not weakness, that's emotional wisdom, the power of steady love. Most men underestimate consistency because it doesn't feel dramatic. But consistency is what separates love from infatuation. Infatuation burns quick, love burns slow, and when a woman chooses you every day, she's building something timeless. She's showing you that love isn't about how loud it starts, it's about how quietly it lasts. That's why her loyalty feels different. It's not forced, it's not strategic. It's natural. Her presence becomes your home, her words become grounding. Her silence becomes safety, and when you look back years later, you'll realize, it wasn't the fireworks that built your bond, it was the small, steady light that never went out. A message for men who found this kind of love. Brother, if you found a woman who keeps showing up, who doesn't just love you when it's convenient, but stays through silence, stress, and uncertainty, protect that. Don't confuse her peace for boredom. Don't mistake her consistency for routine, because calm women are the rarest treasure in a chaotic world. They don't just fall in love, they build love, brick by brick, day by day. They love like the ocean, steady, deep, timeless. If you haven't found her yet, don't chase love, build yourself until love recognizes you. When you become grounded, disciplined, peaceful, the right woman will naturally be drawn to that energy. She won't want your money, your status, or your words, she'll want your presence. Because the masculine that's calm is magnetic. The man who doesn't beg, attract. The man who stands firm, receive. That's why Stoicism matters. It teaches you to become the kind of man love can trust. Final reflection, real love doesn't demand constant proof. It doesn't beg for attention, it doesn't panic when things get quiet. Real love trusts, it understands that some days are stormy, some seasons are dry, but as long as two people keep choosing each other, the bond remains unbreakable. That's the lesson most men never learn until it's too late. So learn it now. If she's choosing you daily, cherish her. If she's showing up, match her energy. If she's loyal in silence, speak your gratitude in action. Because one day, you'll realize, the most beautiful form of love wasn't loud, it was steady. Outro, the anchor within. If these words reached something inside you, hit that subscribe button right now. Because here, we don't talk about fairy tales, we talk about truth, we talk about emotional strength, masculine stillness, and the psychology of love that lasts. Share this video with a brother who needs to hear it. Drop the word anchor in the comments if you believe love isn't about sparks, it's about stability. Because when a woman truly loves you, she doesn't drift, she becomes your anchor, calm, grounding, and unshakable. At the end, please subscribe and share the channel for more Stoic wisdom.